it is unfortunate that your authentic self, in whatever way you think it is, doesn't sell in every market. You are going to have to package yourself. And by package, I don't necessarily mean looks only. I think looks are part of it.
Yeah.
But it's things, that's why we get so upset at people that we think, yeah, this person is talking at all of these stages, but they don't know much. Then it's because their packaging looks great.
It was 24 hours before.
excruciating. Yes. Until people just realize that, you know what? I think amicably we can no longer continue together because
Yes.
what is the
Yeah.
biggest mistake I made in sales? Let's see. I think the biggest mistake I once made, I would say even in business, is Hello, Resonate community, and welcome to the best and the biggest sales and entrepreneurship podcast in the whole wide world. Today, I brought the best and the biggest team in the whole wide world.
That is us.
The biggest.
Okay, so today's episode is quite exciting because I get to sit with my team and we're just going to answer some of the questions that you guys have been asking and also just get into some of our thoughts, feelings, and ideas concerning the previous episodes that we were filming and just where we are at mentally. I think it's been such an awesome time building this podcast for the past year and a half. Shucks, it's been a year and a half.
Yeah.
So let's start with the 5 round of questions.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
We
okay.
ready?
So we'll start with George. Okay. George, if your life was a song, what would it be and why? Can I please have a Christ-like song?
Why must you see now?
We don't want no scandal.
I don't want no.
Oh, I don't know. The recipe.
Earring.
recipe.
Give me the lyric that like represents
Okay,
that.
I can't give you the lyric, but
Oh,
I'll just give you context. Right?
Okay, cool.
It's basically the building blocks of me.
Okay.
To say that there's so much more that is still coming that is also adding on to what is already here.
Oh,
So
that
it's
is so good.
You feel me?
Yeah. Oh, deep, young. Okay. That's so good.
Wow.
Steph, and for you?
Okay. I'm a Jesus girl, so everything is good for me.
Come on, somebody.
But what is coming to mind is the song Jehovah is Your Name.
Yes,
The line Mighty Warrior Great in Battle. Jehovah is Your Name. Because some of us are facing battles.
Hey.
But we know we serve a strong God.
Come on,
Amen.
somebody.
Take it.
And we're still standing.
I know that's right.
I like that so much. Oh, that is so beautiful. Okay, cool. Second question is, what's your favorite episode to date?
My favorite episode. Ooh, that's tough. There's been quite a bunch that I really like.
Okay.
Since you started with us.
Yeah. I guess I would say Josh.
Oh.
There's
that
a
was
lot
nice.
of
Makes
there's a
sense.
lot of like things that were like when you sit back and now think about it, it seems like a very small thing, but when you're hearing it like that, it also gives you a why didn't I think of that type of vibe. So I think Josh so far
Yeah, nice.
is one of my
Wow.
Okay, that's interesting. I know you resonated a lot with Manila's episode
oh of course.
because that was like
Yeah,
fire.
I mean there was a whole there was a me in him that he was talking about that I was
Interesting.
listening to and I was just like, yo, bro, I'm with you there.
I get you.
I'm with you because like he was talking about that whole street entrepreneur starting off and,
Yeah.
so I know how that is 'cause,
Yeah.
to where we are now, the taking pictures where I was and
Yeah.
I understood Banele very well.
Yeah.
Yo, very
Yeah.
well.
That was such a great episode. And for you, Steph?
I have two. One is Sylvester.
Okay. Oh, that was a great episode.
Because, oh my word, he's a boss babe. Do you understand? He's number one in his field, but the way he just communicates what he does, what he loves to do, and he wants to see the African continent do better, you know, grow and be number one.
Yeah.
If somebody was so big like that, they still want others around them
Yeah.
to be the best version of them, that's like incredible.
Yeah.
And he shared incredible gems.
Ah.
So I love it. And I love the vision that he has for the podcast. Like he sees us to like the highest of mountains.
Oh my
so it's
God.
always encouraging to have somebody who's number one want to see others win.
Yeah.
You know, so it was nice. And my second one is Rose.
Yes.
I'm biased about when I love Rose. Let me tell you a Rose story, okay? We spent the whole day trying to get people, Michelle. I don't know if you remember that day. Everyone's busy, not available. What? I was stressed. And then you send me a DM and you're like, ask Rose, Michelle, did she not respond immediately? I was like, thank you, Jesus.
Hallelujah.
And then when she came, she had incredible energy.
Yeah.
She's very good at what she does,
Yeah.
you know. And then she did a masterclass with
Yeah.
our paid community.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
I told her, my sister, we need to book a consultation because
Yeah.
we need to figure it out. So her and Sylvester, my favorite.
That's
too.
nice. I loved the episode we did with Sylvester. I just, oh my gosh, I think to this day, like I still think about it, and the conversations we had in between, like before the recording and after the recording as
Yeah.
well. I think for me it was just one of those that was like, there was something about meeting him and have a recording with him that affirmed something I wanted to do, and the ideas that I had at the back of my mind that kind of validated them because he echoed them to me without me even like saying them.
anything, yeah.
You know, and that just proved to me that of course what you want and what you wanting to do exists. It's there, it's available, and it can even be made available without you having to do too much.
Exactly.
You know, and it's also validating that you are at the right place and at the right time for what you want. It was just so beautiful. Okay, cool.
Wait.
Yeah?
There's another episode that just came to mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nonto's episode.
Oh, yes.
Okay. There was a lot of like emotional stuff. Like
Yeah.
to this day when I watch it, I'm just like, okay, I feel you. There's specifically one thing she said that like resonates with me till this day. To say you need to die in order to come alive. Bro.
I mean, isn't that the
That's
story
very-
of Christ?
Thank you. I was about to say that is a faith walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like when she was talking about the pregnancy and
Yeah.
whatnot, and the way she explained how you need to die in order to come back, I felt that.
Yeah.
I can see you like her because of the clips you put on TikTok.
Yeah, like,
you are biased, sir.
It's just you put me in charge of something. I will work with what resonates with me.
We just need to catch up.
Yeah, you know.
Okay. My last question to you guys as part of the fire round question is going to be a bit interesting, right?
Okay.
And I want to find out from you, what's the, I'll say recent, almost highlighted thing you've learned working with me and being part of Resonate?
Steph, could you please start? Because, yeah.
Why
It's
me?
a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Oh, okay. One of the things that I've learned is that Michelle is no excuse girl. Like, you don't know, you will figure it out. Like, it's like, I think it's just the way you run your business. It's almost like there's a problem, but you are solution driven.
Yeah.
And that makes things like like you can't be delayed. So if we have an issue, we figure out a solution.
Yeah.
And with Michelle, like the solution will be found. You think that is mission impossible, and then she'll be like, let's try this, and then it's working.
Yeah.
So I love that, and I think I take that also with Virtually Steph, where like, you know, you may have excuses, but at the end of the day, the task needs to be completed.
Yeah.
We have access to ChatGPT, we have access
Literally.
to YouTube, we have access to people who know how to do things. You just need to do the stuff,
Yeah.
the hard stuff,
Yeah.
and get it done. And then another one, number 2. You have a list, I have my list. You know, I always thought that like I'm good with communication. Like, I'm just like, I think the corporate space made me like that.
Yeah.
Like, be like straightforward.
Yeah.
Like, this needs to be done. I didn't ask for X, I wanted Y. Like, why don't I have Y? Then Michelle's like, Stephanie, oh my God, you're gonna be nicer to people. I'm like, I am nice. I'm always smiling. I compliment. She's like, no, you have to be smoother again. So it's almost like I relate it to my personal life where the Lord is like refining.
Yeah.
Like there is a feminine way of doing things.
Yeah.
You don't need to be. You can't say what you need to say without being masculine or
Yeah.
being tough or like cutting.
Yeah.
Like you can be a gentle knife,
Yeah.
not like a sharp knife.
Yes.
So that is like, I'm trying to do that with how I communicate with the team, not just you guys, but with my other clients, and also like personally. Like I've realized that I may give off that vibe, but that's not who I am. I just want something that like, if it's X, it's X.
Yes.
Why do I need to say, oh, you know, why? It's X.
I I think the key thing to realize there is it's cadence, right?
Oh, okay.
I think for me, the thing was like, I think you're great at what you do and you're such a great communicator. I think for me, it was just a matter of there's certain ways we can say some things.
Yes.
We can say the same thing in different ways
Yeah.
to kind of drive the point across.
Yeah.
And because I've known you for some time, I get you. Like when you say this, I'm like, oh, I know what Steph is trying to say.
Yes.
But it was like, oh, the other person might miss the message.
Yes.
Just by reading the text. So I'm
Exactly.
so happy to hear that. Like that's something that's
Yeah.
like,
Don't worry, the Holy
Yeah.
Spirit was there.
Okay.
I'm like, Holy Spirit, okay, I get it. I'm like,
oh my gosh. I'm glad to hear that. And for you?
Okay. Number one, right? Be on time. Even though we're gonna be late, be on time.
Yeah.
And we're gonna be late, but just
But be on
get
time
to me
still.
on time. Get to me on time.
I'm finished.
Yeah, well, you know. Right? And then I think this is like one of the biggest things for me as someone who's also starting their own business.
Yeah.
Right. The quicker you work, the more work you get to do, and the more work you get to do, the more work you get, which means the more you expand. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think those are my biggest take homes. So the doing work quicker, which then let's say we're editing the podcast right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I finish this by later today, I jump onto the next podcast.
Yeah.
Then we can, and then by the end of the week, I've edited 4 podcasts and some YouTube videos, content, and all of that.
Yeah.
You see. So the more I work, the more
I really like what you say because I think a lot of people really miss the whole tactic around you have to constantly capacitate yourself for more work. If you're taking long to deal with one client, how are you going to get 3? How are you going to get 4? You know,
That
and
makes
you're not
sense,
going to
actually.
you're not going to get time for 4 clients when they come. You have to open yourself up for those 4 clients now before they arrive. And I think a lot of small business owners allocate their time to what is currently available only without actually realizing
Making
that
space.
you
Yeah.
can now's the time to capacitate yourself before more work comes because
Yeah.
and I like when you reference Josh's episode because one of the things that really was so big on that episode is how he spoke about how he flopped a client relationship they had, and we can dig into that, but part of it was a capacity problem where you get a big client and you're not you haven't even capacitated yourself to cater to that client, and before you know it, you are under delivering, and they are giving you several chances until people just realize that, you know what, I think amicably we can no longer continue together because you probably aren't where we want you to be, and that's fine. But you lose out on the money in the business, and maybe you get the lessons. But I would suggest that the lessons come with you actually building. And you actually moving, which is very, very important. I love that very, very much. Thank you for sharing that. That was very affirming.
I think to add to that, Michelle, the activities you're doing with the paid community,
Yeah.
I think is what George is saying. Like
Yeah.
when you are giving us those tips, those strategies, that
Yeah.
every 4 hours or every 2 hours, you should have gotten certain tasks done.
Yeah.
And that gives you capacity to take on more. And I think, I know I'm trying that, guys. The waking up early
Yes.
helps that capacity.
Absolutely.
And I've realized, for me, I think what I'm trying to do, because I have a client who's in a different time zone, my waking up early is difficult because I'm already going to bed late, right?
see.
So, but what I'm trying to do is to limit my time on the socials. I even had to delete X. I'm like, if you really think about it, the time we're on the socials, TikTok, X,
a lot.
that could be spending on a client or
Yeah.
improving your service offering. And I was like, okay, cool. Since I can't not be on there, let me remove the app.
Yeah.
And it has helped me where instead of X, maybe I'm on Threads and there I'm getting content ideas or how their industry is moving. So I'm now educating myself instead of arguing on some topic.
Yeah.
So the thing that you're doing with the community is great tips.
Yeah, that's my favorite part, I think, recently is the Resonate Hub community. It's
Yeah.
just so beautiful. I mean, I was driving here this morning and there was a testimonial that came. I don't know if you guys saw it on the WhatsApp group. And somebody was like, oh my God, this community is just changing my life. And for me, those are always affirming moments that we're doing the right thing. I wanted to share with you something so powerful that I learned years ago when you spoke about the whole no excuse thing that I
Yes.
have is I used to listen heavily to a guy called Jim Rohn. I think a lot of people know him. And Jim Rohn has this saying, and he's like an old white guy. He's just he's a motivational person, and is in business as well, does a lot of work in sales.
Okay.
And he used to have this old saying and he says, you're not a tree, you can move, And the whole concept was the fact that you're not like planted here and your roots are engraved in the soil and you can't do anything about any situation. And it was always centered around changing your mindset to always finding a solution, and he constantly said, like, you're not happy about this, you can move. You can, like, there's no sun where you are, you can go to the sun. So, and I think sometimes life and business gets us to a point where we end up feeling like we can't move. And you end up feeling like you're actually the tree, like, oh my God, I'm so stuck, and you wallow in it. But that's false. You're not stuck. So for me, every time a challenge or an obstacle comes, it's like, what is the solution? And let's move forward. Because I want to your point, capacitate my mindset for more. If I'm constantly thinking about the problems that we have, I'm going to get into depression.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you guys know, during the summit,
Oh
before
my
the summit,
goodness, guys.
we went through so much.
That was the
let's not go
torture.
there.
No, that was solution-driven mindset, Michelle.
Absolutely. Like,
Oh
a
my
lot of
goodness.
people talk about how the summit was great, but if we were to tell them the things we went through behind the
Merci beaucoup.
scenes,
It was tough.
it was
24 hours before.
excruciating.
No
Yes.
What?
Excruciating.
Thank you.
But I think that mindset really carried us through that.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a problem. What do we need to do?
Yeah.
And it allows us, I think, to then focus on the day.
Yeah.
We had a bit of technical issues on the day as well. We kept it moving. We really kept it moving.
And you were on stage when that is happening.
Girl, there was nothing I could have done.
Time she's looking at me.
There was nothing.
You were in the
I
whole
don't work here.
the whole summit. Shame, John. No shame.
No, it was a lot. Okay.
was.
But what I'm grateful for is that there were solutions.
Yes.
Right? And
Correct.
we moved forward.
Correct.
So if something is happening and I'm looking at George, I'm like, figure it out. I don't know what you have to do.
I remember Michelle said the
Figure it
group
out.
when I say
Guys-
somebody replied to me.
At that time, I'm on stage.
I'm like, what's going on?
I'm like, guys, this. But I think you have to be solution driven in
Yeah,
anything,
you're
because
right.
business isn't always linear. Challenges
Yeah.
will come through, and I think if your language is always focused on challenges, you're not going to get
Correct.
anything done.
Yeah.
You're also not going to be happy with where you are in your own life.
Correct.
You have to ask yourself, okay, here's a problem. What needs to happen?
Yeah.
What do we do next? And sometimes if there's nothing we can do right now, then we have to park it aside and focus on what we can do right now. So that for
agree.
me becomes very, very important. And to the mindset a point, what do you guys think is maybe a mindset that cultivates your best days in terms of like the different work that you guys do with either Resonate or your different clients? I know, for example, there are days like yesterday. Yesterday was Monday. Yesterday felt so good for me. It was long, it was exhausting, but I can resonate with the feeling of being productive, getting things done, and feeling progressive. For me, that's my word. It's like when I feel progressive, when I feel like I'm working towards a thing, I'm very like, let's go and let's do it. I'm curious to know what kind of feeling do you guys associate with like a great work day or a great day in general?
I guess similar to what you're saying, the whole mindset of having a productive day, having gotten things done to a specific goal. Right?
Yeah.
So for me, I always look at it like I'm hungry, like not literally hungry, but like I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I want
more.
to eat as much as possible,
Yeah.
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
You know. So I always have that mindset when I wake up in the morning, like, hey, it's time to go make food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's get it done. Let's get it sorted out.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically it is the same thing that you're saying with the mindset of productivity and also just self-betterment at the end of the day. you
Yeah.
know? So yeah, I think that's where I'm at.
Sure.
I think for my side is clarity. I think I'm most productive if I know what's happening.
I see.
I'm less productive when I'm confused, right? When I'm confused or when I'm overwhelmed. Clarity just gives me direction, right? So I think that's why I think a lot of my clients are people who are making a difference in people's life, because that's clear for me. Like like Resonate, the whole goal is to help entrepreneurs scale up their business, be profitable, empower young people. That's clarity for me. So I'm not confused on what happens at Resonate. So when things are clear to me, I know I can produce my best work. When I'm confused, I usually just like stand still because I don't know what direction is, like what's going on. So when, even for myself, for Virtually Safe, anytime I'm confused, I have to just be like, okay, what's going on? Like, why am I feeling like this? Then even if I don't see the whole picture, the little clarity that I get, the more movement I make.
Yeah, that is so profound, because you're so right. And I think a lot of people can resonate with the fact that whenever there's clarity, there's some form of grounding.
Exactly.
Like, and that's why I think we always advocate for, let's write things down. And we have our Monday morning meetings because we're trying to map out our intentions for the week. What are our expectations and what do we need to do so that everything else can actually move together? And that is so powerful. I think that's actually quite a great part of being able to build any business. It's just being able to have, any clarity at all. As we walk towards concluding our conversation, I know we had prepared some questions. Do you guys have any questions?
Yes, we do.
That we can go through?
That we do. So, Michelle, what advice do you have for entrepreneurs struggling to close high-paying clients? That is also for myself. Oh, my word, Michelle.
Join the membership club. Best of all.
Yes, obviously we will join. Yes, we will join.
Join the membership club. But I think any client who's struggling to close high-end clients, I think the biggest question you must ask yourself is, have you packaged yourself well enough for that high-end client?
Okay.
Like a Louis Vuitton doesn't have to justify the fact that they're X amount of price, because they look the part, their quality feels the part, and they package and market themselves the part. And I think that goes back to the personal branding conversation we need to go. It is unfortunate that your authentic self, in whatever way you think it is, doesn't sell in every market. You are going to have to package yourself. And by package, I don't necessarily mean looks only. I think looks are part of it. But it's things like your brand fonts, your brand colors, the words that you use, your associations. We did YouTube videos on this as well that are going to be going out. But these are things that, what does your packaging look like? You can walk into a store and see 3 different kinds of pastas. But without even looking at the price, you can tell which one is expensive.
Okay.
Do you get that? Or cereal. You can tell which cereal here is more pricier based on how it
look. Yeah.
I think that's where you'd start. If you've already mapped out how valuable the thing is, if you've already mapped out that this thing is valuable and the solution and everything else, work on the packaging. It will change your life. That's why we get so upset at people that we think, this person is talking at all of these stages, but they don't know much. Then it's because their packaging looks great. Their packaging looks worth the money, so that's why people are willing to pay them. Whether you think they're qualified or not, or they don't know how to do the job, or they're talking rubbish, that's your problem. They are earning the check because they managed to package themselves for the market that you probably also want but are not getting.
Oh, lovely, lovely. Okay, another one. What is the biggest mistake you've made in sales or business, and how did you bounce back from it?
Oh,
because Josh told us his.
Yeah, what is the biggest mistake I made in sales? Let's see. I think the biggest mistake I once made, I would say even in business, is I overestimated the value of something. So I don't know if I can even get into the detail. I overestimated the value of something, and then I kind of spent a little too much money on stock that I didn't have a thorough strategy on moving. So I spent so much money, and in my head I thought, I'm going to sell all of this and it's going to make so much money. And then it didn't. And then I literally got stuck with the stock for a very long time, and now trying to figure out, what do I sell? I think how I have bounced back with everything else that I release in my business and over the years as I've grown is every time you want to sell something, have a clear and realistic strategy of how this thing is going to move into the market and how you're going to sell it. If you overestimate it, what's going to happen is that you're going to you're going to over deliver for yourself, and then you're not going to make any money. So that's the big lesson: is are we realistic? If we're planning an event, are we realistic with how many people are coming? Not how many people we wish we want to come, but how many people are actually coming to this thing. That's very important.
Yeah. Okay. One of the last questions.
Okay.
What systems or processes have helped you scale without burning out?
Oh, I think using my calendar. I think using my calendar is very big, and you know this.
Yeah.
Everything lives in my calendar. I'm very big on priorities, so everything is in my calendar, and my calendar has different color codes, and the color codes represent the things that are most important to me. So, for instance, in my calendar, I have Zoe's calendar, who's my daughter.
Okay.
I have my home calendar, which is the things that I need to do for my household.
Okay.
I have my marriage calendar, which is the things that I just want to do with my husband. I have the Resonate Hub business calendar. I also have what else? The podcast calendar. We've got a separate podcast calendar. We also have a driving calendar. If I need to move from point A to point B, those are George is like, what?
Come back to
her
the
life
calendar.
is busy.
We have a calendar for driving.
But you
Definitely.
can sit in one thing, ne?
Yeah, so no. So this is on one calendar, but
Yeah.
it's different tabs and
Colours,
color
yeah.
codes. Yeah.
Yes.
So for me, that's very important. So when I reflect and I look at my calendar, I'm like, oh, there's a lot. Like for instance, Resonate is Resonate Hub and Resonate Podcast
Yes.
are two different kinds of green. If I
Correct.
see that there's too much green, but there isn't orange. Orange is for Zoe. I need to move things around.
Oh,
Do you get what I'm saying? So I those color codes for me are usually kind of how I'm able to balance out my work. I fully believe, I think as being Christian, I fully believe that I need to find harmony with everything that I've been graced with. My business, my daughter, my marriage, and just my loved ones around me. And it's important that I'm able to prioritize my time and my life accordingly. And I try my best to do that. Look, it doesn't always work like that some days.
Yeah.
Some weeks can be very hectic. We've had weeks like even leading up to the summit, or I'd say even this week, where things are just so hectic and be
Yes.
moving. And I give myself the grace.
Yeah.
But when I just move past that, I have to come back to normal, bring back date nights again, spend more time with my daughter, spend more time with my family. So I think I just use your Google Calendar, but use it wisely. If you literally go on YouTube and type how to use a Google Calendar effectively, you'll realize that they have so many features,
yeah.
technology. We buy these expensive phones, but it's like, what do you do with it after? Siri can book appointments for you while you're driving, can just say, Siri, please, can you book this appointment for this day? And the color code is this, or this is what I need to do. So for me, my calendar is it's the clarity conversation.
Yeah.
I always want everything to be clear around what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and why I'm doing it. And being able to do that for me is very key.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, last question from my side. What's one sales strategy that has completely changed the game for your business and how others can apply it?
Ooh, the strategy that has changed the game for my business is give. That's been very, very big. I've been very intentional with giving, and not only giving from maybe let's say I would say give and look the part.
Okay.
Giving for me is always I know, especially in the education space, people are very skeptical to give information.
Yeah.
And they think, oh, but then people won't pay. I'm like, if I can give everything to them for free, that's fine. I'm happy to do that. So I think that's been great, because what I've seen do is that the more you give in terms of information, value, and knowledge, the more people are willing to pay you for potentially the same thing.
Okay.
Do you know? So it ideally increases your value. So it would be give, and then the second part is look the part, build your brand in a way that. How do you want to be addressed, and how do you want people to relate with you?
Yeah.
And I think you can only do that when you are intentional about how you are packaging yourself. And that for me has been very big. I think when I took that conscious decision, even the stages that I started speaking at started to change.
Yes.
And it wasn't even a financial thing. I think there's a lot of things you can do without having to buy new clothes, without having to buy the latest makeup. But there's just certain things you just need to be intentional about with your look. So,
And
yeah.
I think I took that since last year.
Yeah.
I was always on TikTok, and I realized, okay, if I don't know how to look the part, I can be inspired.
Yes.
And my feed is on how to look the part,
Yes.
whether it's business look, modest look. And I am actively trying every day to do that. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm going to step out of the house,
Yeah.
I want to look like how I want to be addressed or what I want to attract.
Yeah.
So definitely thank you for that.
That's good. George, do you have one last question so that before we wrap up?
Just one, I guess. Yeah. So looking at the way your, let me say, industry is looking and it's moving right now.
Yeah.
do you see any like big changes, not specifically to you, but just in the industry in general? Do you see any big changes that will either affect you in a good or bad way? And how are you preparing for those?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a good question. I mean, there's a lot of big changes happening. There's a lot of big changes. I think even in the podcast world overall, there's a lot of big changes that are happening. There's a lot of ways, editing skills.
AIs as well.
Right, yeah. Distribution channels, distribution frequency. I think this forms really part of the meeting that we had, the team meeting we had last week as well. You know, there's a lot of changes. I think how I am preparing for that is I'm keeping my ear on the ground and my focus on the vision. For me, that's very important. My ear on the ground means I'm interested to know what's really changing, and within that interest, I'm picking up what I can do. I'm picking up how I can, find solutions to certain things. But I'm also staying in tune with the vision that God gave me, and so that I don't get caught up in chasing the latest trends and speaking to the latest people and, doing all of these things and just looking at the number matrix, but I'm looking at what I am building instead. And I think one of the things that I'm really learning as far as things changing in any industry is that, yes, things do change quickly, but I think as a founder, you need some level of, I would even say, research or behind the scenes work that allows you to not only see the change for now, but ask yourself what this change could look like in the coming years. I think sometimes we jump onto trends that take so much of our time, and then by the time they die out, we don't know what to do next. And then our business doesn't run anymore. So I think that becomes very important, where it's like a harmony of both, keeping your eye on the ground to see what's happening, but also still staying with the vision. So should I receive new information or a new trend? The question is, does it fit with the vision? Does it fit with where we're going? How can we integrate it? Okay, maybe not now, or maybe let's run. There are things we've seen and we say, guys, we're implementing this today, and we do it. So for me, it's really harmony of both. But there's several things, man. There is, I think the podcast world is changing in terms of studio setting, in terms of conversation, in terms of distribution channels, in the sense that we're now kind of heightened to the opportunity of, yes, we've got our own channels, but DSTV, for instance, can, partner with podcasters and things like that. So, and then also it's within the tech. Cameras are constantly getting better. Mics are constantly getting better. Sets are constantly getting better. Audiences as well. Audiences are constantly seeking new different things all the time. They want conversations that are captivating. There is the constant need to develop better and higher conversations within podcasts, so that if somebody's watching something for an hour, it's actually worth their time. So there is a lot. I mean, I see the Diary of a CEO and the things that they're implementing on their podcast. Mind blown. And we can only aspire and truly believe that we will get there very soon. But the vision still stays the same.
Yes.
And we still proceed and move with the vision anyway.
We will get there. We're in the client's meeting. They're like, you guys can teach some people something. I was like,
That was such a proud moment.
It was. It's such a green light. We are on the right path. We are doing an incredible job.
Yeah, that was such a proud moment. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, this episode is going to be very short because we got to go. Yeah, but thank you so much, Resonate Community. We love just having these small little conversations with you guys for our team, because I think this is a team that really sits behind the scenes and that is able to, that basically speak to the guests. They are sitting in studio every time we film, and just having them here is always so great to get a bit of feedback from them, but for you guys to also meet them and hear what they think concerning certain things in life. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you guys on our next podcast episode. Goodbye.